The Commission must now confront, in my view, two overarching challenges. The first is the perception that judges, other judicial officers, and support staff are in fact corrupt. We at the Seventh Commission intend to confront corruption head-on. That is promise number one.
Here you are now supposed to supervise, including actually disciplining and promoting justices of, actually from the Chief Justice to the Deputy Chief Justice, Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice of the Court of Appeal, senior High Court judges who are your colleagues but they are your seniors. So what message do we send to them as a country? Are you comfortable? Maybe it's unfair to ask you that question, but maybe let me put it different. There are many people who are uncomfortable with that sort of system, that you get somebody who is a little bit junior, all of a sudden is up, supervises, disciplines, promotes. So it is something which is lingering in the minds of many Ugandans and in good faith. Do you think you demoralize the people who have worked? Many of them have worked their way up there, up to the Supreme Court. And here they are, they get a junior officer, is now the boss, and asking very tough questions sometimes. I think we need to think of this as a country, and then the challenge you have, especially you two, this could be a little bit personal, is once you embark on your duties, you need to always have that in mind. There are people who may be looking at you as such, and yet you have now a statutory mandate. And yet somebody saying, this judge of 2 years in the High Court are the ones summoning to ask me this sort of thing? And some, and they are there, and between you, by the way, I went to that law school also, many years ago. And this is what we are talking about.
Going to find, and you actually know, there is a huge level of complaints against what people have decided to term cadre judges, and I'm told you are one of them, and that actually these cadre judges are given much more preference in terms of promotion and in terms of assignments, as opposed to those judges who are actually the judges Ugandans deserve. So we'll be hearing that complaint, and be sure you should be able to handle it appropriately. See a lot of excitement in it. Excitement especially of having been appointed hardly a few months after being confirmed a judge. I hope this excitement will not shroud and crowd your decision making, because it looks like your appointment has excited you and you are too excited with President Museveni. I hope you will have room in your decision making process to disappoint him. Let this excitement not crowd your decision making. Lastly, as a judicial officer, and you know you've handled some sensitive cases before your appointment, there is a feeling, and I'm telling you as a practicing advocate, that you are one of those who were what I would call suffering from judicial cowardice and indecision, especially in matters involving politics and politicians. I hope there are people you will be appointing, you will advise them to avoid being judiciary cowards and lacking independence. At least they should take decisions one or the other. And this is personal to you. Thank you.
When he was completing his back course, I was joining as a magistrate grade 3 trainee. He used to give me newspapers and buy me a soda. So he has forgotten all that, I know. And the last time I checked, he's actually a neighbor, so we should be friends. So when
I thought you were.
So
are you denying?
So, and he's speaking as a person from Kigezi because they don't hide really, and I love it. I just want to give you two assurances. One is on this notion of cadre judges. The word cadre is vulgarized time and again. The first time, Honorable Chair, I interacted with that word was when Victor Bwana, as the RDC of Mbarara then, was the resident district commissioner. He used to talk about a cadre. In South Africa, where I spent much of my time, the word cadre judge is actually positive. It means you are a transformational judge. Here, in the Ugandan context, it means you are a pro-government judge. Now, let me quickly allay the fears of the members here. 2018, I was a magistrate grade 1. I had graduated with my PhD 2013. Where was the cadreship that couldn't promote me then? Am I appealing to you to calm down a bit, to know that it is actually not my cadreship, but probably other skills I have acquired over time, that I'm now a chairperson of Judicial Service Commission. 2, I am a chairperson of the Judicial Service Commission. I feel under the ticket of the anti-corruption movement. My humble view, you can have all these judgments. You can have all these many judgments churned out. Once they lack on quality, which I favor most, once they lack on corruption-free, there are no judgments at all.
Being the two of you, I don't know if there are more judicial officers, but at least the two of you, what will happen when you start going through the registry and you find complaints also against you? Because you have been judicial officers in the public realm, we have seen some complaints being made specifically against you. Now, how will you address that? That you go there and you find a backlog, and Dr. Singiza, my Lady Justice Comfort, there's a complaint against you, and now you are the commissioners there. How will you deal with that particular situation? Thank you.
Yes or no?
The other issue is on recruitment, especially at the level of judges. There is a feeling and a word in the corridors that actually the Judicial Service Commission simply gets lists from State House and only approves. I would want you in your tenure, let's, in addition to advertising, let's have a list of the candidates who have applied be advertised so that the business of claims that lists come elsewhere maybe can stop. Now, going to find, and you actually know, there is a huge level of complaints against what people have decided to term cadre judges, and I'm told you are one of them, and that actually these cadre judges are given much more preference in terms of promotion and in terms of assignments, as opposed to those judges who are actually the judges Ugandans deserve. So we will be hearing that complaint, and be sure you should be able to handle it appropriately.
Talk amongst the professionals, and I'm sure it is also the real talk amongst your colleagues you've just left there. So as you embark on this journey, just know you are going to have these challenges. And I really have to caution that as you handle it, just know the sort of people you are going to be pretending over the system. For example, you are just comfort you, you're a representative of the judiciary, no sir? Who is now representing the judiciary on the Honorable Justice? Okay. Okay, that is maybe better because she's in the court of what? She's in the Supreme Court. So that gives it a little bit of comfort that she's one of them and she's through experiences and so on. But anyway, you are the...
Of justice, abuse of judicial authority, delayed disposal of cases, bias, corruption, laziness. So you have all the weaknesses. In your response and the way how you are planning to handle that, I think it's not convincing. After highlighting all those 9 issues which are affecting the process and what we expect with your analysis, I think it is not convincing. You need to sit down more and come up with something which can save this country. With these areas you have mentioned, the 9 of them, they are men and touching, but the solution you are giving is not convincing. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
Raised in your remarks is about the perception that the judges and judicial officers are corrupt. It's not just a perception. It is actually a reality that is happening. It's no longer a perception. It's a reality that judicial officers are corrupt, but also the Judicial Service Commission itself, before you even go to the judges, word out is that every cycle of recruitment for magistrates and the rest, barring the list, the special list, receive and recruit coming from whether different stakeholders, word on the street is that per recruitment you need a minimum of 50 million shillings to be recruited to be a magistrate. And that's what the young people are prepared to do. They are getting loans. People are selling their land. People are doing just to come and get. And immediately they get, you know what they will do when they sit as judicial officers. One day I was seated somewhere, I overheard a young judicial officer who was planning to buy a basket that for collection of bail money or something, to make decisions to grant bail, said, I will recover my money. This is happening with the Judicial Service Commission. The children of the poor have no chance now to be judicial officers.